Is this thing on, Milko? It is? Fantastic. For those of you who don't know, this is Lucien Fontaine, scholar, artisan, womanizer. This journal is the first of many, and it portrays a story of our adventurers. Session 1. The year is 1489, in the year of the warrior princess. Location, 15 miles from Greennest. The adventurers have made camp. These small and insignificant creatures are due to make quite a difference in the realm. But first we will start with the situation that they were in. Travelling with the merchant trader Fenris, quite a handy man with a crossbow if you know what I mean, I'd like to introduce you to the cast of characters, so that as these journals continue, you know who and what you're dealing with. The first cast of our characters is Alakazar Dretzer. I am one of the voices in his head, and he gets to hear me often. He is a dragonborn, a haunted one at that, of average specimen, I guess you would say, amongst his people. Generally, though, a good sort, but quite focused on what's deep within. The next cast of our unlikely sorts is Inu Gilgamesh, a strong-looking hill dwarf, an inheritor, one could say. It's because of this inheritance that he thinks he will make some significant to the history of the Sword Coast. Yet to be seen, but his strong muscles and reasonable speed, I'm sure will see him well in the ways ahead. Next on our list of unlikely heroes is Bulger's Oathbond, quite the hybrid specimen. This mercenary veteran is from the far north, and, well, I look forward to seeing the devilish things that he might do to his enemies in front of him. Gwyvar Istil is not a name that easily rolls off the tongue, but this tiny halfling with pots and pans and cleaver in hand is possibly the only sense of class that this entire group has. Well, someone's got to cook, I guess, and someone's got to tell people that they can't cook, and I'm sure Gwyvar is that person. Last and not least of this small group of miscreants is, of course, Truktul. Truktul is a tiefling. There's not much to say. An ugly face, a terrible goatee, and 2 massive horns adorn Truktul's head. In fact, if you were to say that Truktul stood out, you would not be wrong. The horns look like they've been misplaced from some oxen. But Truktul, of course, is not to be trifled with at any point or measure. The as yet unnamed group had travelled the majority of the day, and now rested up with a fine meal from Gwyvar, and were enjoying polite conversation about how bandits were terrible and they should have killed them all rather than talking their way out. They decided that this was a good point to rest their little heads upon the pillows, and tomorrow they would be at Greennest. They rested the evening for almost the entire night when they were finally attacked by, well, none other than Lizardman Raiders. Lizardman Raiders fought ferociously, but were eventually downed through magic, sword and board. And of course our party then decided it was probably time to break for breakfast, eat the fine fish and crabs that the Lizardman had brought them, and head on down the road to Greennest. It was a rainy day. The rain pounded, slowing what was hopefully going to be a quick trip to Greennest, only a short 15 miles, into a slightly long one. And as they rounded over that final crest to the hill of Greennest, they discovered that the town was under attack. Instead of the pleasant, welcoming town that they had expected, they saw columns of black smoke rising, burning buildings, running figures that are little more than dots in the distance, and a dark, winged shape wheeling low over the keep that rose above the town centre. It appeared that Greennest was being attacked by a dragon. With this in mind, the group made short order and got their belongings in hand. Of course, their employer, one Mr. Trader Fenris, armed them with a few potions and wished them good luck, advising them to come and collect them once the town had been secured. With this in mind, they unbuckled weapons, prepared shields, had their spellbooks in hand, and slowly adventured down towards the town of Greennest. What will they find? Will they find adventure? Death? Life? Hope? Who knows? Tune in for this next exciting adventure. And I, the narrator, Lucien Fonte, will take you through what happens next.